Good morning, Rangers. Today is Thursday, April 24th, 2025.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Mitchell, and welcome back to CTV. Today, theater has their stow-op in the Black Box. Make sure to come out and support our program.
If you want to practice with the Blackboard app for AP exams, you can come to the DLH from 3 to 4 p.m. and practice.
Now let's go to Jonathan with today's weather.
Good morning, Rangers. I'm Jonathan with your Sugarland weather. Today you can expect a high of around 82 degrees with light winds and a low of 71 with a 15% chance of rain. Make sure to bring an umbrella, jacket, and poncho with you. That's all for today's weather. Back to the anchors.
Thanks, Jonathan. Remember, if you're interested in joining student council for the next school year, the last interest meeting is after school today in Miss Badillo's room. You must attend an interest meeting to join Stuka next year.
The exemption form for the spring semester exams is now open in Skyward. Students in 9th and 10th grade can exempt 3 exams, 11th graders can exempt 4 exams, and seniors can exempt all exams if they meet the criteria. To exempt, you must have an 80% or higher for the semester in the class that you wish to exempt, no more than 8 absences, no outstanding fees or fines, and no discipline referrals to the alternate schools. The form is due by Monday, May 12th.
Now let's go to the senior spotlight with Rosie Hong.
Hi, I'm Rosie Hong, and I'm a senior at Clements High School. So throughout high school, I realized I love telling stories through different mediums, whether that was through writing or speech and debate. Something that I started with my creative writing friends was we started an international literary magazine where we read a lot of submissions from youth, and all of our themes are centered around youth and the coming of age. Another medium of telling stories that I was very involved in throughout high school is speech and debate. And it's a lot of impromptu speaking and a lot of research on important political and social issues. The first award or big award that I received for my writing was a Scholastic Art and Writing gold medal in personal memoir, and that was one of my biggest moments because I remember flying to New York and there was the award ceremony in Carnegie, and that's where I met some of my closest writing friends and who I'm still friends with to this day. There's this award called Winner with Distinction Young Arts in Creative Writing. Essentially, I flew out to Miami for a week and we got to explore different master classes and work with different writers. So Miss Bates was my junior year AP US History teacher, and she's such a memorable teacher. US History was one of my most scariest classes at first because there's so much to learn and there's so many skills, but she was able to explain such difficult topics like stories, and I love stories, so it was really great, and she was so supportive with my whole creative writing journey.
I'm Miss Bates. I know Rosie Hong because I taught her last year in AP US History. Rosie stood out to me as a student very quickly. She's perpetually smiling and a very, very happy just person, always eager to participate. And I just could tell she was also just naturally gifted and brilliant because she would always ask those wonderful questions that triggered more questions and really good discussions within the lectures. This past summer, she came back to me and she showed me how she had an anthology published. And I think that is just outstanding that now there is a anthology out there that a student of mine has published, and I had her sign it in case she ever becomes famous. So I kind of wanted her to have the shout out because she has some wonderful things on her resume and accomplishments and achievements just in her high school, and I know in the future she's going to achieve even more great things.
So I'm still deciding between colleges, but I know I want to do something probably pre-law pathway. So maybe double majoring something in English or in the humanities with maybe government. I know for sure I want to do something that involves me talking to people, networking. I think that's something that I really love doing throughout high school and I want to continue to do.
Thanks, Rosie, and congratulations on your hard work. With a week into the Random Acts of Kindness campaign, Coach Ford and his classes have recorded 137 acts of kindness, but are falling behind their goal. Their goal is to record 1,000 acts in 30 days. If you've been spreading kindness, stop by room 2106 to pick up a slip and record your act, or scan the multiple QR codes posted around the school. You can also scan the one listed on the screen.
Congratulations to our Clements band on a wonderful UIL season. The Symphonite band earned a unanimous superior rating, thus certifying the 41st consecutive year of sweepstakes. Great job, band.
Now let's go to Avery with today's world news.
Hey Rangers, it's Avery with your world news. First up, according to Sky News, Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff and a major reformer of the Catholic Church, has died at age 88 following a stroke and cardiac arrest, the Vatican confirmed Monday. His sudden death came just weeks after he appeared to be recovering from pneumonia and greeted crowds for Easter Sunday. In other news, also from Sky, passengers were forced to evacuate a Delta Airlines flight Monday after an engine caught fire just before takeoff at Orlando International Airport. An Airbus A330 bounded for Atlanta was carrying 282 passengers and 12 crew members when smoke and flames were seen coming from the aircraft's engine as it pushed from the gate. Last from NBC, Walgreens has agreed to pay $300 million to settle allegations by U.S. prosecutors that the pharmacy giant illegally filed millions of invalid prescriptions for opioids and other controlled substances, the Justice Department announced on Monday. The CDC reports that nearly 727,000 people died from opioid overdoses in the U.S. between 1999 and 2022. That's all for today, Rangers. Now back to the anchors.
Thanks, Avery. Today's trivia question is, what is the official language of Brazil?
Make sure to email your response to Mr. Clayton.
That's all for today's CTV, Rangers. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm Mitchell.
I'm Ben.
Bye.